Joanne Hayes.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to take a short call on the Environmental Protection Authority Protection of the Environment Amendment Bill in the name of Meka Whaitiri. Mr Speaker, I don't really understand why this bill actually came here, because at the end of the day, the EPA, the basis of the role of the EPA is it is as a regulating body to protect, it does protect and maintain and enhance the New Zealand environment from a number of perspectives, Mr Speaker. The previous speaker talked about what the EPA actually did as a regulator, and I'm not going to repeat that because it's pretty much clear. It's the overarching regulatory role that the EPA actually carries out. And it works, Mr Speaker, with a number of other enforcement agencies, because to protect and maintain and do all the things that this bill is purporting to say, it is actually a shared responsibility. And the EPA is the group that actually looks after and makes sure and monitors that all of these things are actually happening. So the other enforcement agencies that the EPA work with are the Ministry for Primary Industries, WorkSafe New Zealand, the Ministry of Health, Civil Aviation Authority, the New Zealand Customs, Maritime New Zealand, the New Zealand Police, New Zealand Transport Agency, regional councils and territorial authorities. Mr Speaker, these are all the responsibility of all these agencies working together with the EPA. And to make it even more robust in the work that they do, they're overseen by the Ministry for the Environment, Mr Speaker. So the EPA, as my colleague Scott Simpson said, the Act came into force in 2011. It is an organisation that is at arm's length to the government. It is an organisation that that provides a number of oversight reports that many of us in the Local Government and Environment Select Committee have already received, to do with water, to do with air. Those are the things that this organisation does. To change that, to put this amendment to support this amendment, what it would do is it would change the actual role and the function of the Environmental Protection Authority. It would actually change it and make it very difficult and confusing for everybody who has been working with this authority to do with its objectives, and this is not necessary. It is not necessary, Mr Speaker. I want to just talk a little bit about a project that I was involved in just recently. It was a Business and Parliament placement, and I went to an organisation called the 3R Group Limited, and their prime role, besides waste minimisation, is key to the environmental and protection of the environment. And I can tell you, Mr Speaker, that the work that they do in upholding, and this is what I'm saying, it's about everybody's responsibility in reducing the amount of waste into landfills, into the waste for resin paints, etc., is actually a example that we can sit above there at the apex of looking after the environment. And that's why, with the Environmental Protection Agency doing its role, making sure that everything's being regulated, everybody contributing, Mr Speaker, there is no need for this bill, for Meka Whaitiri's bill. I think that to allow us to actually stand and speak about this seems to be a bit of a waste of parliamentary time when we have a lot of other important bills that needs to come to this House that can go through. And Mr Speaker, you know, whilst it might have taken her a little bit of time to put it together, and all the people across the other side of the House are all talking and yabbering back to me, I can tell you right now that the work that this government has done for protecting the environment goes a long way, much more than the 9 years of a Labor-led government that did absolutely nothing. So, Mr Speaker, in wrapping up, I'm proud of the work that this government has done to do with protecting the environment. The Environmental Protection Agency does a wonderful job, and I do not support this bill. Thank you.